I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
The Guardians took her in.
You're in good hands.
But when she discovers their secret...
I found a big new personal piggy bank.
Your inheritance, $4 million.
Ruby, gonna have to get rid of the girl.
For the fight of her life.
You mean the Guardians? Buckle up!
The Glass House. Rated PG-13. Opens everywhere Friday.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review, another Patreon review for Bra It Stipe, whose generous Patreon pledge. If anyone's ever interested in joining me on Patreon, supporting me, or sending in a PayPal request, whether it be a movie review or a topic or anything, feel free. The links are down below. But the movie review for today is The Glass House. Now, The Glass House is a 2001 film that I had heard of but had never seen. It's directed by a guy named Daniel Sackheim, who had only thing I recognize is TV work he did. He did episodes of The X-Files, The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, NYPD Blue, among others. Now, the kind of interesting tidbit of info, this film came out 3 days after 9/11. September 14th, 2001. I mean, if a film had the worst timing in history, it would be a film like this. And overall, I liked the film for what it was. I wouldn't say, I mean, it's perhaps formulaic. I wouldn't call it that suspenseful, a bit predictable. I'm sure there are plot holes that smarter folks will find that are much better at than me. But for what it was, I thought some of the direction it took was interesting. I thought the cast did a fairly good job. I thought the plot, granted you maybe do see it on a Lifetime Channel movie, but to me, I thought this was done fairly decently. I like the location, the glass house itself. Stellan Skarsgård, who's a really good actor, been quite a few stuff. He was in the Thor films, at least the first two. He was in Exorcist the beginning and Dominion, the other Exorcist prequel, which is the same film but not, which I reviewed those when I did my Exorcist marathon. He's pretty solid as the villain. Bruce Dern is in the movie as a lawyer. Leelee Sobieski, I actually thought she did fairly well in the lead. Leelee Sobieski, some people don't like her in the film. I thought she did fairly decent. And the gist of the plot, her and her younger brother, their parents die from a car accident, and they're put under the guardianship of these neighbors who were really close with their family for many years. The guy being Stellan Skarsgård, and the mom, or the adopted mom, being Diane Lane, who's a really good actress. Things seem fine, but then things kind of take a turn, where Leelee Sobieski is changing, and seems like she's being watched. her brothers, these two, Stellan Skarsgård, Diane Lane, just give her brother all these video games as if they're buying them off. Her calls seem like they're being listened to. The more Leelee Sobieski sees, she sees that Diane Lane seems to be a bit of a pill popper, and Stellan Skarsgård seems a bit out of it. Either was a little bit of flirting, or a little bit of finding out that it seems like he owes money to some important people. And I don't know how to describe this without giving it away. It doesn't end in a bad way. Doesn't end in a downbeat way. There's certain things that the story went that I kind of didn't see coming. I'm like, oh, okay, that was kind of interesting. The way it played out. The way I think the way it played out in my head was like When a Stranger Calls, the remake. And I think this is in a weird way, a much better version of When a Stranger Calls, the remake. I know that might not make sense to other people. But yeah, I like that Leelee Sobieski's character seems to be a character that by the third act is more using her brains than brawn. Nowadays it'd be some skinny little lady trying to beat up this full-grown man with kung fu or upper body strength that doesn't make any damn sense and comes out of left field for woman power, which I'm fine with woman power because I love Aliens, I love Terminator, even films like Everly, the first Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie and plenty of others. But you know, sometimes they could go over the top. They don't do that in this. Again, formulated at times, predictable in the fact that you know Stellan Skarsgård, Diane Lane, there's something wrong with these people. That's what I mean by predictable. Because I know people are like, wait a minute. That's what I mean predictable. You pretty much don't, when you first see them, I mean, when you see Stellan Skarsgård, the actor, you just go, yeah, I bet there's something up with him. So it's not a big surprise like, oh shit. It's not like, are they bad? Are they not bad? Are they evil? No, you could guess fairly easily that it's not, oh, Leelee Sobieski's character is just paranoid and crazy. No, it's clearly these two adoptive parents are up to no good. But the story they was telling, I got kind of pulled in and intrigued by. And I gotta go on this with spoilers. I'm sorry, that's the only way I could review it. So spoilers starting now. I like the idea I can't really put in the words that, okay, Stellan Skarsgård's doing this because these kids are worth a lot of money and he owes these bookies a shitload. I guess because when I think of this kind of plot, for some reason I think of, well, yeah, they're crazy, they're insane, and that I think part of my brain thought, well, he wants to fuck Leelee Sobieski and he's going to do anything he can to have her his, like one of those type of plots. And it's not. It's more of the money scheme thing. Bruce Dern, his character seems like a really good guy, and then you find out he's not really the best of guys. And that did fool me, because Bruce Dern is a good actor and he really seems very... I buy that he's trying to help Leelee Sobieski's character out, and then you find out that's not the case. You go, oh, you kind of feel like the main character. Diane Lane's character, how I kind of started to feel sorry for her character, and the character, you get the sense that she feels guilty about what's going on, and she doesn't really like what's going on. There's like a quick bit where she's watching a home movie. I don't know if that's supposed to represent Leelee Sobieski's character as a kid, because the family's supposed to be, the two are supposed to be friends with that family, or if it's meant to represent something else. But then the fact that she does the right thing because she's told to keep Leelee's character drugged, but she doesn't, and because of the grief she overdoses and dies. I didn't really see that coming exactly that way. And even the finale, you're expecting this big like fist fight, but it's Leelee using her brains, where like Stellan Skarsgård, he finds his wife dead. Usually in a movie he would think nothing of it. Oh, you stupid bitch. No, he gets sad, and then he gets drunk and he passes out. And I don't know, for some reason I bought that as kind of, as stupid as it sounds, more realistic in a weird way. I know, I didn't. I know that sounds dumb, but I kind of... It's not the norm that I would see in other movies of this type. And then in the finale, you find out that instead of using, Home Alone traps or using whatever, she used her brains, and she fucked over this guy by calling the bookies and pretending to be the wife and saying, oh, he's about to leave. So the bookies get there, and they take Stellan Skarsgård and tie him up in a car, and then you realize she fucked over the car. Earlier that day, before the guy came home, either before the guy came home or when she was hiding and the bookies were doing their thing. So I didn't really see it go in that direction, but you do get the satisfying bit where, because you also find out that the parents did not just die in an accident, they died because something got fucked up with their car, and guess who fucked up the car? Shit, Stellan Skarsgård's character. So there is a moment where Leelee does get the vengeance, because this is the formula thing. You think the character's dead, but it's not really dead. You think the killer's not really dead yet, but she runs the motherfucker over. Not gory, not violent. It's not that violent of a movie. In fact, I would not be surprised if this was PG-13. I don't know if it exactly is, but I'm guessing it's PG-13. It's not that violent of a film. But again, I thought Leelee Sobieski, she was likable. I even liked the bit at the very beginning where you see like a killer in a mask, and you realize it's a group of characters watching a fake slasher film. I think it's called like Prom Nightmare. I thought, that was kind of interesting, different way to start the film. There's little stuff put in there throughout the story that I didn't mind, and made it seem a little bit unique from the norm of this type of genre, this type of movie that you might see on the Lifetime network, Lifetime channel. But I do think it's better than them. I might be alone in that. If you say it's formulaic or it's not suspenseful or plot holes, I'm sure you could pick out because you're smarter than me. Go right ahead. But for me, I thought it was a decent enough story. I thought the actors did their jobs fairly well. Like I said, I like the look of the glass house itself. The I want to say location, but the set they built. Some of the direction the story took made it a little bit interesting, and not what I... After the first 15 minutes, didn't know that's where it was going to go in the last 15 minutes. But that was a little bit refreshing for me, and maybe that's why I'm kind of propping this movie a little bit more than I'm sure other people would. But yeah, overall I did like the film for what it is. It's not scary. I wouldn't even call it a horror film. It's sometimes labeled a horror film. I have no idea why. It's not. It's thriller, maybe, is the best way to describe it. In a thriller, but not horror. Again, some websites label it horror. That's stupid. Nowhere near that. It's maybe thriller. But with that said, I did like it overall. Maybe you won't, teach their own, but I was glad I saw one, so I thank Broad Stipe for that. So, thanks for watching, take care, and stay tuned for more reviews. See you guys later. Bye-bye.